Hello everyone, this is Mugundan Raghavan, and in this video we are going to see the open source framework RAGAS for evaluating the retrieval augmented generation performance. RAGAS framework mainly focusing on the RAG pipelines. Before getting into this framework, we will try to understand what is the difference between LLM metrics and non-LLM metrics. When you evaluate the LLM, you need to have some metrics to measure it. In that scenario, we will have two kind of metrics. One is LLM metrics, one is non-LLM metrics. Non-LLM metrics, as the name suggests, it does not need another LLM to evaluate the metrics. For example, it uses the rules, embeddings, and text matching. Since it does not have LLM, it will be very easy to set up and it's free. And for basic factual matching, you can use the non-LLM metrics. When it comes to the LLM metrics, you need another LLM to evaluate the basic LLM. Since it includes the another LLM, you need to consider the API calls and its cost for the another LLM. However, you cannot go with only non-LLM metrics to save the money because for complex scenarios, you need to use the LLM metrics. In easy way, you can understand LLM metrics need another model to think or judge the basic LLM or the LLM that you evaluate. Non-LLM metrics does not need LLM. It is a simple direct text matching or semantic comparison. Being said that, we will see some of the basic LLM metrics. Context precision. It is mainly focusing on the percentage of retrieved context relevant to the question. As soon as you ask the question to the LLM, it will be retrieving some amount of retrieved context. So this retrieved context, how much it is precise. So that's what context precision. Context recall, again, it's a percentage of necessary information captured by the context. Faithfulness checks if answer is based fully on the provided context or not. Even though the LLM gives the provided context or your RAG pipeline gives the context, the answer should be fully based on that. So that's why it's called faithfulness. Response relevancy. You might get the answer, but the answer is relevant to the question or not. So that will be measured with the response relevancy. In the same LLM metrics, we have some more metrics, such as factual correctness, noise sensitivity, multi-model metrics, tools and agent metrics. For example, multi-model metrics will be only effective when you have the different LLMs work together, such as you want to evaluate text, image, audio inputs, such as multi-model output. And also, if you have the agentic framework or you are using the different tools in the same pipeline, then this kind of metrics will be useful. Now let's see something about the non-LLM metrics. Most of the time, I will feel like non-LLM metrics, it's something like we can understand very easily and does not need LLM. Very simple example could be string metrics. You can see the exact match, or you can see the string present in the given output or not. Or let's see how this semantic search is working under the vector database, and answer accuracy. As I told, semantic similarity. So these are the simple things you can measure in the non-LLM metrics. And also we have other metrics such as SQL specific evaluation. If you're asking for some query output or you are asking for some kind of query, you can measure with SQL specific metrics such as SQL execution based data company score, SQL query equivalence, and implementation. In case of implementation, actually we are looking for the database connection in the pipeline to compare the actual output by executing the query. However, it is need-based metrics whenever you use the SQL in your prompt or when you expect the SQL queries and answer, then you should be using this. Let's summarize so far what we have seen. In category wise, you will have the retrieval quality. Retrieval, as you know, whenever you prompt the question, based on the question, it will be retrieving some of the context. So how much quality it is, that will be measured by the retrieval quality. Under this retrieval quality category, you will have the context precision, context recall, context entity recall. As you clearly see, this metrics will have the prefix called context. By seeing this itself, you can understand this is related to the retrieval quality and context. Answer quality, we are focusing on the answer now, the final output. So in this, you will see the faithfulness, response relevancy, factual correctness, and groundness. Multimodal, as the name suggests, whenever you use the multimodal, then you will be using the same kind of multimodal faithfulness, multimodal relevance. Agent evaluation, which means you are using the agents. Obviously, everything related to the agentic framework, such as agent goal accuracy, tool call accuracy, topic adherence. In case of agent chat, multi-chat, the agent manager will be there and the agents will be interacting with each other in the common chat. So that time, whether the chat is going as per the given topic or not, so that is one of the metrics, topic adherence. And non-LLM metrics that we have seen, such as related to string related things, string presence, SQL metrics, exact match, and some other metrics like a BLEU and ROC. Rubik or custom scoring. So these are the little different concepts that we will be seeing in the coming videos. However, the output will be given with some kind of scoring, aspect critic, rubrics based, instance specific. So this kind of metrics also will be considered. And still, we have other special tasks, such as how the summarization happens, whether it has noise, or there are something called NVIDIA RAG metrics. So these are the other special tasks that you can consider for the metrics. Now we have seen so far different kind of metrics under the category of LLM metrics, non-LLM metrics. When you try to implement the evaluation framework or evaluation test set, what are the considerations you should have? For example, if you are having the LLM-based evaluators, obviously you need to obtain and configure the API keys for that. And also you should consider LLM and which LLM being used for the evaluation and which LLM will be used as a judge. And metric selection, since we have seen multiple metrics, we might be choosing a balanced combination of LLM metrics and non-LLM metrics. Cost management. So how do we manage the cost for API cost when we use the LLM as a judge? And also when we use the multiple calls to the LLMs, the performance might be having some issues. So we should consider the performance trade-offs also. So these are the implementation consideration when you choose the LLM evaluation framework, especially in the RAG or RAGAS framework. For simplicity, in this video, we will try to see in RAGAS how to measure the non-LLM metric, which is the string presence. Yes, we know that non-LLM does not have any kind of LLM API call. So that's the reason for demo purpose, for simplicity, we have chosen the non-LLM metric. Here you can see RAGAS. Basically, you will be installing the RAGAS pip install RAGAS, simple as it is in Python. Then you will be using the test data. In test data, generally you will be having the user input, response, reference, and also sometime retrieval context or retrieval documents. User input in real time, it will be like a prompt that you given to the LLM. Response is the output from the LLM. Reference is the actual ground truth that you are trying to see. And sometimes if you are using the retrieval in the pipeline, you will be having the retrieval or retrieval context. So with these inputs, you can calculate the metrics. So now the metrics that we are going to try is string presence. And we know that the question is, what is the capital of Germany? And the ground truth is Berlin. And the output from the LLM is the capital of Germany is Berlin. Now we are trying to see our reference or the ground truth is present inside the response or not. It is very simple as it is. And this conversation or this kind of circle happens within a single turn. So that's why we are using the single turn sample with the test data. Test data means the data which has the user input, response, reference, and the retrieval documents if it is a RAG. And with this test data, we are trying to measure the metric. The metric is nothing but string presence. Being said that, I will try to execute and see the output. Here you can see 1. So that means that it is present. Let's say I put some spelling mistake. and try to see. See, it is not able to find the BER link inside the response. If I just remove only BERLI and try to execute, see, it is able to find the BERLI inside the response. It is very simple example. However, in RAGAS, we have other set of functionalities where you can create the test data by using the framework itself. So being said that we have seen the simple example, how we can measure the non-LLM metric, which is string presence. In similar way, we will see the different metrics in the coming videos. So to summarize this video, we have seen what is RAGAS framework, and it is mainly used for the RAG pipelines. And we have seen the difference between the LLM metrics and non-LLM metrics. And we have seen for LLM metrics, you need to use the other LLM as the judge to evaluate the basic LLM. And also we have seen what are the considerations we should have when you prepare this evaluation framework, such as the balanced collection of LLM metrics and non-LLM metrics, and cost management for the API calls, and the performance trade-off, and so on. For simplicity, we have used one of the non-LLM metric, which is string presence in this demo, to see the reference is present in the response or not. And this is all about this video, and always be a rainbow in others' cloud.